Hi, my name's Jamie. I live in Saudi Arabia and I have a makeup collection that just keeps getting larger. It didn't today. Wait, it did today. Stupid. If you're new here, hi. I really like to talk about indie makeup brands. I really like to talk about particularly eyeshadows, and I like to put eyeshadows on my face, and I like to talk about palettes, and I like to talk about my collection. So if you're interested in any of that, please feel free to subscribe. That's all you need to do. If you are curious about what I am wearing on my eyes today, this will be coming up in a video sometime next week, I want to say. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Today what I'm going to be talking about is I am imagining a hellscape in which I can only keep 10 palettes, which I hope never ever happens. I hope this is not a self-fulfilling prophecy because I will be moving soon, and I am a little afraid that when I get to Egypt, they're gonna look at all of my stuff in my bags and they're gonna be like, you're a commercial seller. No one needs this much makeup. And I'll be like, but I'm not. And then they'll be like, too bad. And then they'll confiscate all my makeup. I really hope that doesn't happen. I mean, I got live fish into Egypt the first time I moved there, so that's a whole story. But I just hope they don't look at me and go like, you're smuggling pallets of makeup here illegally to sell. I hope that's not the case. I really hope not. Please, please, please no. So imagine a hellscape where I can only keep 10 palettes. Like I'm digging through my bags and I have to pick 10 palettes to keep, and here are these 10. I will say that this is a very old tag. I saw it on Make Me Up Missa's page and I thought I would do it again. And you know, maybe once a year I'll do this at some point because who knows, like my tastes may change, and also my collection is kind of always evolving anyway, so I don't know, what I might choose to save this time around may not make the cut next time. Who knows? First order of business, and I've kind of included this as number one, is that when I first got my Lethal Cosmetics Wildflower palette, the palette arrived with 6 smashed, broken shimmer shades. So, as you can see. And I pressed them very delicately back in and did a video. They're still kind of fluffing up a little bit. But I'm really happy to let you know that I got a hold of Lethal Cosmetics. They replaced my palette right away. And then I got the palette today and it arrived in beautiful, pristine condition. And I am gonna say that I would choose this palette in my list of 10 because it is so unique to my collection. I really don't have shimmers like this, and I think it's just super, super beautiful. I will swatch the shimmers here and you can just see how spectacular they are. And it's beautiful. It is a high quality palette. Even these really, really difficult to formulate shades like purple, blue, neon pink, they're very easy to use. So hats off to you, Lethal Cosmetics. Thank you so much for replacing my palette and being so easy to work with. And also, again, thank you for your ethics, because Lethal Cosmetics eyeshadows are cruelty-free, vegan, and halal. So we love that in this house. I think this might be cheating a little bit, but I'm going to also include my own Lethal Cosmetics palette that I built. And again, I really like the shimmers, particularly I have some duochromes in here, some multichromes in here. This is a color story that I selected for me. By the way, this white is not white. This white is not white. It's beautiful. This is a really nice inner corner highlight. This one is a beautiful topper. And it's not even like, this doesn't even do it justice, honestly. I've said it before, these don't swatch that great, but the palette and the quality is really, really good. So again, why would I save this? Because it's something that I curated for me and it is exactly my taste. So therefore it would come with me. Again, this is cheating a little bit, and I am gonna have to take one shade out because it is not a Give Me Glow shade, but I do have one shade coming for this. It's coming. And this is a custom palette that I made from Give Me Glow eyeshadows. First of all, you get a lot of product in here. There is quite a bit of kick up with these Give Me Glow shadows. They do tend to make kind of a mess, as you can see. But again, where this is a color story and shadows that I selected for myself and have arranged in a way that I really like, you could not pry this out of my cold, dead hands. No. No. And these multi-chromes, this is Xenon. This is such a beautiful shade. It's disgusting, honestly. And this Electric Unicorn shade is probably one of the most beautiful things in my collection, hands down. They're expensive too. But that is again why you could not take this from me if you tried. Seriously. Another palette that I would just really like to keep around is the Sea Talk palette from Odin's Eye. I debated on the Hila palette versus this palette, and what I like about this palette is how wearable it is, even with having sort of different colors. And also, I could get into too much green if I'm not careful. But I really love this palette. I really like this shade. I like this shade. I like, again, just how wearable it is. I like this blue. It's kind of a blue jean blue that is kind of unassuming, and as goes blue is like the most neutral blue you can use. I don't know how that works, and you know, if you disagree, that's totally your call, because I know not everybody is like, hey, I'm gonna go to work with blue eyeshadow on. I do that, but at this point it's kind of expected of me, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a palette that I would fight for in my collection. The next two are both from Cosmic Brushes. This is, of course, the Serenity palette and the Muse palette. I think that these are both stunning. So this is obviously just so beautiful, right up my alley. I need to use it more. And again, if I'm not careful, I could just live in this green. I could just live here. I would be happy. There are shadows in this palette that are worth the whole palette. But the mattes are also super blendable and really easy to use, and they almost are self-blending in a way. Same thing with this Muse palette. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. This is a recent purchase. I got this in April, and this just makes me happy. This is just neutral leaning enough for me to be able to wear it a lot, but then also has really beautiful colors that I haven't even tapped into yet. So both of those would definitely stay in my collection forever. Okay, next up, I've ranted and raved about this palette a lot. It's the Amanette New from Adept Cosmetics, and this is beautiful. Everything about this palette is me. Everything about it. I just love it, and I don't really need to keep going on about it, but I thought I would show it to you again one more time. Why not? I really like the Nephthys shade, I like all of them. The Hathor shade. Hathor is, first of all, my favorite goddess. Second of all, my favorite shade in this palette. I'm not gonna say any more about it. Okay, the next one might surprise you, but I live and die by this Beauty Bay Neutrals palette, and this is the Neutral 42 palette. And this has every cool tone neutral that I could ever want. And I do use it. I go to work with it very often. Just got my hair in it. And it's just solid. It's just a solid staple. I'm always happy with how it turns out. The shimmers are good. The mattes are really good. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. For me, very, very versatile. Very versatile. So again, like if I had some multi-chromes that were in a different palette and I could pair it with this, that's a very easy neutral leaning but still interesting look that I would wear out all the time. That is what I do. I really like to pair, as you can see, I really like to pair a neutral with a multi-chrome. That's just kind of the most wearable way you can use multi-chromes in my opinion. The last two, again, no surprises here, but you could not pry this out of my cold, dead fingers. This is the Manifest Dream Big palette from Be Perfect. I have raved about this. This was my most used palette in 2022, and for good reason. It has beautiful mattes, beautiful shimmers, lots of colors, and some different textures in here that I find really, really fun to work with. It's beautiful, the quality is great, and I can't say enough good things, honestly. Likewise, the last palette that I would insist forever on having in my collection is the Carnival XL Remastered from Be Perfect. This is in collaboration with Stacey Marie. And what more can I say? What more do you want? I have a white, I have a black, I have neutrals, I have colors. It's a rainbow palette with everything in between. Really good shimmers, really, 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 really good mattes. What more do you need? Well, I have a lot more, but what more do you need? All right, that was my super fast 10 palettes that I must have in my collection. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something I missed? Is there something I'm not thinking of? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.